Breaking news, Donald Trump's media company, Trump Media, parent company of Truth Social, has announced a partnership with Crypto.com
Fortune favors the brave.
to launch a series of ETFs and ETPs comprised of digital assets as well as securities with a Made in America focus spanning diverse industries such as energy, according to a company press release. Now, we're going to simplify that by taking all this content and putting it into Grok. Trump Media, social company, is teaming up with Crypto.com. They plan to make new investment products, ETFs, with crypto and US companies. Launch goal this year, if approved, with a focus on American businesses, energy, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. It's going to be available in US, Europe, and Asia. The Trump Media TG, I don't know, Trump Media something, will invest up to $250 million of its own money. This was then quote tweeted by Chris from Crypto.com. This is the CEO of Crypto.com, and he says, proud to partner with Donald Trump's Truth Social on a series of ETFs, including the world's first ETF with CRO. Now that means some money is going to flow into the Crypto.com token, CRO, and it has pumped, but will that continue? So we're going to deep dive into what's been going on with Crypto.com, what you can do with it, some speculation, and some opinions from me, Dan, who just has opinions on things and not investment advice. So keep that in mind as we dig in a little deeper to find out what's been going on with Crypto.com. Now, anytime you see this on Twitter, a very active social media platform, we should always check the comments. So we're going to scroll down and we see a comment by ZachXBT. And normally when there's a comment by ZachXBT, it's bad news. It's definitely not good news. So here's what's going on. CRO is no different from a scam. His words, not mine. I'm just reading it. I'm delivering messages, but it isn't something I'm going to invest in. Your team, to the Crypto.com team, reissued 70 billion CRO tokens a week ago. That was previously burned forever in 2021, 70% of the total supply. So if they brought back 70% of the total supply, that could be some additional sell pressure and very bad for the token in the long term. And this did go against the community wishes as you control the majority of the supply. So right now, Chris from Crypto.com, the CEO, is being called by internet detective ZachXBT. Unsure why Truth would choose a partnership with your exchange over Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini after this move by your team. And we can all speculate. Probably money, probably incentives, because these exchanges are significantly better than Crypto.com when it comes to actual user experience and users for the most part, I believe. Soon after that tweet, Chris, the CEO of Crypto.com, has blocked ZachXBT. And then more in the comments. What? I just imagine that's what they sound like. Read this article by Laura Shin and the Unchained team. Burn tokens are gone forever, right? For 70 billion CRO, maybe not. Crypto.com burned 70% of the token supply in 2021. Now it wants a do-over to package the tokens into an ETF. There is no way to simply delete crypto assets on a blockchain. After all, they are immutable. Instead, if someone wants to take the tokens out of circulation, they get burned. This process involves sending tokens to an unrecoverable address. It is the equivalent of gifting the tokens to a friend who then forgets his or her private key. So they said the tokens got burned, and when the token gets burned, you can't get those back. You burned it. It's like burning actual cash. What? It's gone. Now they did bring this up for governance, which means people voted on this and it did pass, so they are going to bring back those tokens. And when it comes to governance and DAOs, it doesn't really matter because if you hold a lot of those tokens, you have more voting power than someone who holds less tokens. So this goes into Kronos, new golden age to onboard billions and invest in the US Kronos POS V5 upgrade. The proposal's GitHub says a goal of the new mint, so they are going to remint these tokens, will include connecting CRO to institutional liquidity pools through the CRO ETF, securing a position among the top 10 protocols, and achieving US ETF approval will be pivotal for driving institutional adoption of CRO. So not only will Crypto.com sell CR tokens to seed the ETF, but as the issuer of the ETF itself, it wants to also make management fees from its operation. Now let's just take a look at what's going on in the CRO ecosystem. It is the token for Crypto.com, but it also has its DeFi world because it is the Chronos token. Now, they have pivoted. I don't know when they did, but they did pivot to AI agents. They have a new roadmap. So we'll take a brief look at that. We're going to view their roadmap. 3 new blockchain networks: Chronos ZK EVM. It is a layer 2 ZK EVM. Chronos EVM, that is their layer 1, and the Chronos proof of stake chain, which is their layer 0 Cosmos SDK chain. So yeah, they're hitting all the key terms here: layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, AI agents, and yeah, you got to pivot, you got to keep going. And if we look at the TVL on Chronos, it is at 450 million. Not a lot of growth there. So that just kind of tells you that people aren't using this chain, people aren't building there, and they're going to other places. And if we look at the TVL of Chronos ZK EVM, 15 million, not very high. So that's just to say nothing really exciting is happening there. And if we want to find out what the token is for, we are going to use AI because that just makes it a lot easier. The Chronos token is the native cryptocurrency of the Chronos blockchain, developed by Crypto.com. And here's what it's for: transaction fees, staking, payments and financial services, DeFi and ecosystem utility, incentives, and rewards. Now, there is some good news with this ETF because the product will include Bitcoin and the CRO token, but the bad thing is they are unburning 70% of the supply. So if we go from 30 billion tokens to 100 billion tokens, that is over a 200% increase in the token supply, which can increase sell pressure, and that's not good for token holders. And if we're looking at things in the Chronos ecosystem, I haven't heard of any of these, but maybe they're things. So obviously, yeah, they have their DeFi, they have push.fun, just push the button, and then AI agents. So nothing too unique, nothing too exciting yet, and they do have a lot of competition. So let's get into my thoughts on the CRO token. I'm not touching it. This is not something I want to invest in just because there is going to be a lot more tokens that is going to cause more sell pressure. And, Trump is a very polarizing figure when it comes to global economics. Some people love him, some people do not. And when we talk about crypto.com, a lot of people don't like that platform. A lot of people don't like it when compared to some of their competitors, and I'm absolutely going to shill them. You could use Coinbase, you could use Kraken. If you're looking for no KYC, you can use Weeks. It's a smaller exchange. The liquidity isn't as good as a larger exchange, but there's more opportunities, and I do have an affiliate link. Then there's also BitGet, which has been on the rise in the last few years. So use those platforms and my links if you want to get started, because I will absolutely shill that. I don't have a problem with it just because I don't think Crypto.com has the best user experiences and it doesn't have the best opportunities. Now, crypto investing is pretty hard, so it's hard to determine if people are going to use something. And if you're kind of just shilling the same thing other blockchains do already, but with less users, with less value there, it's going to be hard to grow. So this could be the catalyst for crypto.com to really pick up, just because they have an official partnership, they are going to be an ETF. But just because you have an ETF doesn't guarantee profit, because there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there that already have an ETF, and that really didn't move the needle. So those are just things to consider. Now, again, if we are talking about investing in it, not for me. I think there are a lot of other opportunities out there, but in the long term, we all know that cryptocurrencies don't survive, so it's easier to bet against things like this in the long term. In the short term, it could have a lot of volatility, so just things to consider. And if you want to learn more, feel free to subscribe, feel free to engage with this video, and I can answer more questions in our weekly live streams. All right, so that's what's going on with the crypto.com token. Some good news, some terrible news, and not a lot of movement in their actual DeFi ecosystem. All right, with that, I hope you got your full value for today.